diagnosis?
Well, I remember that evening when I got home, my child just complained of fatigue. He just reported, "Mami nimechoka." And he looked pale, and he had a fever, and he had a running nose. So I thought probably he had just caught a flu. So the following morning, I took him to a nearby clinic to where I was staying. So the first test that was done, just a normal routine total blood count. And from there, the first doctor who saw the results just told me, this looks like cancer, looks like leukemia. I felt bad. I felt bad that just by looking at one blood test, someone tells me this looks like cancer. There was no pre-counseling, like the doctor is saying, and there was no post-counseling. So because I was fighting with that news, I couldn't take it in. I took my son and we went back home. And so it's my husband who thought, let's reconsider, let's get him to another hospital where probably we can get a second opinion. Mm-hmm. So to this other hospital that we went to, by the time we got there, my son was very sick. He was nose bleeding uncontrollably. And he was also passing a lot of blood urine. So the moment the blood tests were done, again, it confirmed that his HB was low, platelets were low, everything. So transfusions, everything started. And this time round, the doctor now prepared me. In the second hospital that we went, the doctor took his time to prepare me for the diagnosis that was coming.
Okay.
Yeah.
And for Modesta, how did the doctors break this news? Did they do any counseling, or they just told you as it is?
They were telling me, we are going to send somebody to you to talk to you. So I waited. I didn't see anybody. It's only Dr. Njiro who came and told me, as you are still waiting for the news are for the counseling. I think the boy has brain cancer. And that is, I think that's what they want to tell you. Mm-hmm. So I think there is no any other way we can help the boy because it is on the last stage. I just accepted, and the next day I was discharged from Kenyatta National Hospital. I went back home.
So looking back, do you think if you'd had the benefit of counseling or somebody walking you through the diagnosis, it would have made a difference in how you went through the journey?
Yeah, I could understand and I could take it the way it is. I could accept it. But now you see, I was not told earlier. So I came to realize late that the boy has cancer. But I asked them the first time, I asked, can it be cancerous? They told me, no, it's not cancerous. It is ependymoma grade 2, you see. So even if I went back at home, friends were asking relatives now, how was the biopsy talking about? It was just talking about ependymoma grade 2, not cancerous. I said, no, it is not cancerous. Only the last stage, when we went back to Kenyatta, it's when they told me, this thing has spread all over. And it has touched all the senses, meaning it is cancerous. Okay. So I felt, I didn't feel good, by the way. Yeah.
Gloria, did you at any one point think that you'd come to where you are, to a point of losing the child?
No. There's no way as a mother you'd ever think you'd lose your child. There's no way as a mother you'd ever think that you'll lose your child. Because the desire of every mother is to see your children grow and, maybe even die and leave them happy and healthy and adults. So I never thought at any point I would lose my child, no.
So when the news came in that you've lost your child, how did you take that?
Unfortunately for me, when I lost my child, I told you we were in India. He had just had his bone marrow transplant that had gone on well, but he suffered some side effects after that. So I was there, just me and the boy, and no one else, no family, just the two of us. So when I lost him, I realized I'm alone. I was with him in his deathbed. Like after the complications set in, we were taken to the ICU. We stayed in the pediatric ICU for 15 days. And every day he was deteriorating day by day because he suffered multiple organ failure. So one by one, his systems were shutting down. And so I was watching him. And unfortunately, I'm a clinical officer. So there are some things I've also observed in my line of practice. And when you see someone, they can't make urine, they have to be fixed on dialysis. They cannot breathe, a ventilator has to be fixed. They are convulsing and scans are taken. And step by step, you know what is happening. His liver failed, everything. So I was fighting with what I was seeing as a mother. But on the other side, I also observe and I know this is happening. And I look at the monitors beeping and some are shutting down. And finally, on the 25th of September, everything went flat. And it was the most devastating time of my life. I was just alone with the boy. So I wouldn't wait for anyone to break the news for me. I was there watching him. And it still haunts me every day. Remembering what he went through, it's not easy.